What up, devils? Happy Saturday. Threw up two options for videos I want to do on Twitter. I'll end up doing both. Just got time for one this morning. And unsurprisingly, you guys chose Bitcoin. So this is going to be a trading focused video. I'm not going to talk about, the larger count or where we're at, what's coming up. Sam just did a video on that yesterday. The dude I learned Elliott Wave from. So why do you need my opinion, right? But from a trader's perspective, there was a good trade that set up, and it was a loser, and I took it. Happens all the time, fellas. Let me tell you. I win them, I lose them, and if you think that you're going to be a trader and not lose, don't even try. But this was a good trade that I would take. This particular setup, I would have taken 100 times out of 100. And let's get into why. It was that this was a triangle. And here's the thing. Need to explain a couple things first. Newsflash. If you weren't aware, Elliott Wave is not a trading method. It's not a trading method. It's an analysis style, right? It's a way to do analysis. You develop your trading method based on that, right? Same as the pitchfork, the Andrews pitchfork. That is not a trading method itself. It's a trading tool. It's an analysis tool, right? But the Andrews principles are not even trading a trading method, right? Now, there is an Andrews trading method. There are trading methods built around the pitchfork. There's trading methods built around Elliott Wave, but just the analysis tool, the analysis style is not, i.e., don't trade every pivot. Don't trade every. You're not trading. If you're seeing what's coming up, you got a big wave 3 coming up. All right, wave 4 is coming. I'm going to short it. Yeah, you can do that. Depends on who you are. I think you're shit if you short, at your trading degree, short a wave 4. But, maybe you think I'm shit for not doing it. So, your trading style is developed around your analysis techniques. So, first of all, understand Elliott Wave is not a trading style. It's not a strategy for trading. There's nothing in that book that tells you how you should be trading it. There's some discussion of it, but how things could be profitable, et cetera, et cetera. But it's not a trading style. So you have to figure out what your tolerance for risk is, what your tolerance for, and just when it comes to the chart for risk, are you willing to accept a low probability trade? And I use that in air quotes because what's low probability, right, dude? Well, this trade here would be what I consider for me. For many of you, I think you guys take way lower probability trades than this all the time. I see you do it. But for me, this is a low probability trade that is worth the risk. And why? Because it's a potential triangle playing out. Now, if you look at this dilly, it's hard to get a great count on it, but you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like a 5-wave swing, right? And then you have this triangle looking off of it, right? And of course, there are things that we don't love about this triangle, but there's a lot of things to like about this triangle, and I'll get into those. But first of all, when I first pointed it, I did point out that, last week sometime to the members in a video that this would be a tradable event should we get the E of this potential triangle. And it was a tradable event. I personally actually took that trade. I usually try not to tell you guys when I'm trading and things like that. It's not what I'm doing. I'm here to teach you, not trade for you. This was a tradable event. And actually, I only really tell you guys when I do lose. I might mention a winner too. I don't know, but I try not to talk about it. So this was a tradable event, I said, and let's explain why. We see a 5-wave here. So it was likely that if this were to be a triangle, it had to be a B wave of some type. And that's what, some astute people were asking me. Well, I can't. Are you saying it's a triangle wave too? No. So what you need to know about trading Elliott Wave, and this is no matter how you trade it, the count is only important at your degree of trading. So I was only worried about trading the move out of this if it was to the upside. I don't care if this had to be an ABC1 of a diag, an ABCX, an ABC2 up, and then 3 down. You know, who knows, right? Did not care when it came to that. All I cared about was a pattern setting up that I could take advantage of. And that's how I trade Elliott Wave. I don't give a shit when I see a pattern that I like. I don't care if we've been sideways for 2 years. If I see a perfect, 5-wave up, little triangle, and then, I'm gonna long for the C or the 5 or whatever it's gonna be. But that's how I trade Elliott Wave. And triangles are always low probability plays. What was the problems with this one? Well, actually, there's way more right with it than wrong with it. So let's talk about what's right. Still sick. Sorry, guys. Deal with my sniffles. I'll get over it one day. Little better every day. Okay. So, did I pull that right? All right. So we got down. We would have been between the 382 and the 50, right? Perfect. Actually, if anything, slightly deep for a triangle. What is a triangle denoted for? It is considered a light retracement, a series of lower highs and higher lows, which we got. So it would have been A, B, C, B, C, D. So this would have been what your triangle looked like, right? And then within it, you got this nice little D wave. It was played out almost perfectly like a D wave with the sucker wave. We got the volume spike. We got nice, impulsive moves out of it. This was your bear trap or your bull trap, right? This is pretty, what I would say, standard D wave. One thing is that this would be a WXY, and that's what that is to me. This is a 3-wave. Or I'm sorry, it's an ABC, not WXY. I'm not going to get in. I'm not going to bother doing that now. I'm already talking too much. But you got a 3-wave here. I see people have that as a 5-wave. I mean, I guess that they have it as a diagonal or something. I don't know. To me, that's for sure 3-wave. And then 3, 3, A, B, C, D. Now, this I have as another perfect simple zigzag. Okay, and then Oops. And then this was a 5, A, B, C, 5. So another perfect zigzag. So you just got so many perfect zigzags going through here. Not a lot of complexity, what you like to see. You had descending volume, volume spike in D, descending volume, and then here you had a volume spike. I mean, this could have been a damn perfect entry for the low of a triangle. Again, I want to remind you guys, triangles are low probability trades. Depending on your trading style, you trade them how you want. Me personally, I like to size down or wait for some sort of a confirmation. You get your reaction at the lower parallel or at the lower trend line. Come up, you can use your Vegas waves, basically where you get the 1 out of it and then take the 2, depending. Maybe it's the top of the trend line here that you use for support to enter a Vegas, a pitchfork, whatever it may be. It's always safer to catch the retrace, right? No matter what the situation. But if you're trying to catch the low of the triangle, I mean, this one right here was about as good as it gets, right? So what what were you trading for then, Toot? Well, let's see. If we're going with this was a clear, and guys kept asking me, well, what do you think about the, the larger degree if this is a triangle? It doesn't matter. It's way better for my macro because it fits better. For bullish sentiment, things like that, for this to break down and not be a triangle, right? Because we don't want this to be a B wave. We want this to be a 2 wave. And it's much more likely to be a 2 at this point. But we had five waves up here, right? So if you're trading for this to be, if this was your E, throw a channel, throw a fib. Let's see. Get rid of this crap. We can even throw a fork on here. Beautiful. All right, so again, all these things that work out well for a triangle: low volume decreasing, spike in the D, sucker wave looking D, simple zigzags. One thing we don't like is it did come down a little deep for a triangle. Somebody tried to tell me it was too shallow. It's actually a little deep because it comes down to the 50, which is still well within the norms. Just a little more than you want. For me, what I didn't like is that we did get. I mean, it got to the golden pocket on the retracement of this wave, but really I'd like to see it get to the 786. That's to me more ideal. And so it did this, retraced this way less than this retraced this, right? So we got, usually when you get the deep, whatever you're getting the deep side correctives to is the way it will break out, right? So like even if a lot of times maybe you get like a flat looking top and then the bottom is lower highs, that's where you expect to break up and out. These used to be called barrier triangles that no longer exist. Yeah, so that was the one thing to not love about this. But it offered you this entry, ABC, right? So with these simple targets, 1-to-1, you don't use post-triangle thrust for a C wave. 1-to-1, the A, potential A, or whatever it may be. Nice little pitchfork, channel, everything, confluence right to there. So we know going into this is a low probability trade. But if we size down, set our stop at triangle invalidation, and we also had a resistance level right here. Look at that fucking... I actually took this at 12-to-1 just because, you guys might not know this about me. I got a day job. I can't watch this all day. I took it at 12-to-1. If you waited till it looked like the C was in, you got it at 24-to-1. So who cares if you size down and miss it? Let's say that your normal position is, just for argument's sake, $100 risk. So you're risking 24. You're risking 100 to make 2,400. Right? Pretty good, right? Now, okay, I'm going to size down. I'm only going to risk 30 just because I know it's a lower probability to play. So that's like basically a third. We can say 33. $800. I mean, you trade how you want, but anybody who thinks that this was a bad trade, I don't know what you're doing. I'm not telling you to trade that your trading style needs to be my trading style. I think everybody needs to develop their own, to be quite honest. I can give you basic tips that you can build a basic structure around, and this would be a pillar of that basic structure for me. Trades like this. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. It usually, when you have a risk to reward like this, it's a lower probability play anyway. Just realistically, that's just how it is. And usually when people show risk to reward like this, they're terrible setups. triangles are like the only setup really that give you great, risk reward with any sort of probability that can be expectable. So yeah, it was a low probability play from the start. Never said it wasn't, and I took it, and I would take it again. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. Toot out.